right, let's go ahead and get started. Thank you to everyone who was able to join today for the continuation of our monthly webinar series. My name is Mike Prigge, and today we're going to be covering the following topics. All right, we're going to start with our upcoming webinar schedule, just kind of explaining what's coming next on the horizon here. We're going to also discuss the upcoming release of our new learning content, which we're really excited to announce. We're going to also discuss how to add new features to your current access. Then we're going to go into some best practices today, discussing specifically performance review tracking and how you can handle that through the portal. After that, we'll just do a brief Q&A session. If any questions come in through the webinar, we'll get those answered and we'll go from there. So just to discuss here, the next webinar taking place is going to be Thursday, June 29th at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. The webinars are on a reoccurring schedule, so they'll be taking place monthly on the last Thursday of each month. All right, we also wanted to mention here, and also too, just real quick, the webinars are going to cover anything from new features in the portal to specific training topics on the portal. All right, so we're going to cover new features, anything that you have access to currently that you may not know in the portal. I will train you on some different options that you have there. So we're also, excited to announce, I know I announced this on the last webinar as well. I just wanted to touch base on this, but we do have a web YouTube channel. It's Strong Point Partners YouTube channel, and you can find all the Howard Simon webinar recordings, additional content moving forward by searching and subscribing to the Strong Point Partners channel on YouTube. So we're really excited to have that out there as well. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the new learning management content that we have coming here. So we are extremely excited again to announce this, that we have new learning content coming your way through our partnership with Easy Llama. We'll be offering interactive e-learning courses that incorporate engaging story-based videos and cutting-edge interactive software to go beyond routing compliance and affect real change for your company. So Easy Llama, they're consistently recognized as one of the top training software solutions in their marketplace, and Howard Simon is going to leverage their content and offer it to our clients. So the content library is created by HR experts, and it's kept up to date with the latest regulations. Now, with this being said, we are going to be offering two package solutions around this content and learning management system. Starting off with the harassment prevention training only. Okay, this is a fully compliant solution with all state and federal requirements. The content itself is being offered in language-based and also industry-specific content. All right, you can track the progress of your employees. So if your employees have a course assigned to them, you could track if they've completed the course, through the learning management tracker. And then also at the end of completion, so when your employees successfully complete a course, they receive a certificate upon completion. All right, and that is option number one. So option one, again, it's harassment prevention training only. Option number two is going to be full access to the entirety of the content library. All right, so that of course includes harassment prevention training, but it also includes courses in the following sections and topics. So starting off with diversity, equity, and inclusion, they offer courses in data privacy and cybersecurity, ethical practices, and also workplace safety. All right, to name a few. So you would have access to their full content library. You could assign trainings to your employees. Oops, wrong button. You could assign trainings to your employees directly through the access to their entire content library. So we're anticipating, with this being said, we're anticipating a July 2023 release out to our clients. All right. If you have any questions on this, with the content that's coming, if you have any questions at all, you want additional detail around this, which I know that there's a lot that goes into it, just shoot an email over to implementation@howardsimon.com. and we could get you additional information as we have it. All right. And again, we are very, very excited to offer additional content out to our clients, and we appreciate the partnership with Easy Llama. So on the note too of emailing implementation@howardsimon.com, I did mention this on the last webinar as well, but you could also email implementation@howardsimon.com to put in a request for the following. So product demos to start. What I mean by product demos is, say you want to schedule a training or a more detailed demo of the portal in its entirety. You could actually email our team, the implementation team, and we could get that scheduled on our calendar. All right. Also, pricing on new features. If you want to inquire about pricing around anything that we've discussed on previous webinars or anything that we discussed today, go ahead again and shoot an email over to our implementation team. And then also, again, I just notated implementation of new features, anything that we've discussed on the previous webinars, anything that you're tracking in an outside spreadsheet, you're looking to get automated through our system, just let us know. All right. So I just wanted to provide you with another option. You could still, of course, reach out to your client service representative and they could get you over to a member of our implementation team. But I just wanted to give you another option there to get directly to our team. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and transfer over to our test site here. I'm going to give you, we're going to start our live product training. Today, we are going to discuss performance review management. All right, so I hope that, if you didn't know that this was out there, that of course you learned something new, but it's just to show you, additional functionality that we have available in the portal and, new features as they come. We'll continue to learn about those features directly through our webinar series. All right, so what I want to show you here is how to add a review on your employee's profile, how to track their next performance review through our workflow module. We'll get to all that in just a minute here. So first of all, I'm going to search for an employee's profile, just using my search bar on the home dashboard. All right, I'm going to search for an employee. I'm going to select their profile down below. And what I'm going to do here is through our subsection tabs at the top, the reviews tab is located in the personal details subsection up top here. So personal details, which I'm sure all of you are familiar with, personal details and reviews. All right, this is where you can store your performance reviews for your employees. Now I have a couple test scenarios out here already for this employee, but this is just to give you an idea at a high level of what type of data you could track in the reviews, what you can do here, and then we'll get to the workflow piece for notification. All right, what I'm going to do here is just click on Add Review. I want to show you the data that you can currently track here. Ideally, you'd be able to populate as much information as you can here about this employee's performance review. You'll see your options there, but the field that's extremely important is the next review date field. All right, the next review date would be when their next upcoming review is, and that's what we base the workflow off of, which I'll show you in a few moments. So the workflow is going to look at that next review date and notify an employee and their supervisor, say within 30 days of that next review, that they have a review coming up, and it will instruct them what to do through that notification. All right, also at the bottom here, you do have the option to, first of all, check if this is viewable by the employee or not, which in most cases it probably is. And then you also have an option to upload a file. So if you have outside documentation that could go along with this review, you can upload that to the review and have that stored and tied in the portal, which is a pretty neat feature. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel out of here because I already have 2 test reviews for this employee. And on the left-hand side under our menu, I'm going to go down to workflow. Now, some of you may have this already. Some of you might not see it on your live site. And if you don't have it and you want it, go ahead and reach out to us again. But workflow, you can do a lot of different types of notifications here. So you could set up the workflows to receive notifications, generate a task, even through the system. And it's a really nice feature. And you can use it for a lot more than just performance reviews. All right, so what I'm going to do here is move down to performance review because I have an outstanding workflow here already for this. And I just want to show you the details of what goes into creating a workflow. All right, so if I edit here, you'll see the options here, the configurable options for this workflow. All right, so first of all, we're giving it a name and a description. We are enabling it when the time's right. And then we're choosing that data selection criteria and the trigger type for our notification. So what data are we basing this off of in the portal, right? And you'll see your various options here. All right, so we have employee, employee event, and employee review, and employee review is our example for the purpose of this learning section. So what you'll see is when you select a trigger type, you'll actually see a filter that's automatically applied. So in this case, it's going to create notification within 30 days of my upcoming review. The 30-day is configurable. So if you want to be notified within 45 or 60, just go ahead and flip that day. All right, and that's how that piece works. And then you have your options for employee action and employer action. So in my test case here, I'm just creating notification. All right, your other option is to also create a task. Same thing with the employer action. All right, so creating a task would be not only notification, but also creating a task through the portal of, different, data perhaps that the supervisor or employee has to fill out, or just different steps that they have to take to successfully complete that task that's assigned to them. What's nice too is under the subject on both the employee and the employer action, and then the body of the email notification that's sent, this is obviously fully customizable. So what we do have, clients that utilize this, they may have embedded documentation that they want to throw in to that notification. That's great, but you could also just kind of notify the employee through instructions in the body of the email of where to get any documentation that they have to complete. But all that's customizable. And then also on the employer action, the notification as far as who it's being sent to, that's also customizable. All right, so a lot that you could do with workflow. This is just an example of a performance review workflow. Now I had my test case workflow set to notify only here. I'm gonna go ahead and cancel and get back to my workflow dashboard. All right, you'll see that I have one complete. If the workflow is set to notify, it's just, it's going to go into a complete status right away and just saying that the notification was completed by the system, essentially. If you have a task created, now that might show an in process instead of completed. So it might show that an employee has one task out there that's, pending. So that is an example of a performance review. If I go ahead and scroll to the top here, I'll see my other options. You have different campaign-based workflows. Examples of what you can use that for are if you have a new employee handbook, mid-year and you want to get the employees to sign off and download it, that's kind of an example of a new campaign-based workflow. The new date-based workflow is exactly what I just showed you. Performance reviews, you can, we have clients out there that have created a date-based workflow based off of hire dates, so you could be notified of anniversaries. There's a lot of different examples of how you can use workflow to kind of streamline some of your payroll processes, okay? And that is what I wanted to show you today for our training portion of our live product training on this webinar. So what I'm gonna do here is actually just go back here. I wanna see if we have any questions that came in through the chat or Q&A, and it doesn't look like we do. We'll go ahead and effectively end the webinar for today. Thank you so much for who was able to join today. We really appreciate your partnership. We look forward to holding future webinars in the future here. And again, look out if you have not received invites for our webinar series, please be on the lookout for those, or either notify your client service rep and they could get you hooked up with those. So thank you again. Have a great rest of the day, and we'll talk in a month or so. All right, bye now.